Good morning, and welcome to the first of our Tuesday Timeouts, where every week I want to be able to encourage you and strengthen you with a little bit of what God has been speaking to me and putting on my heart. And this is something that we're doing as a Calvary Youth. We want to be able to encourage and to strengthen and bless you during this time of uncertainty with COVID-19. And we just want to be able to encourage and have hope together. And so if I can share with you a little bit of what God has been speaking to me the last little bit. I've been reading through some of my devotions. Something that stood out to me is in the book of Daniel. And in the book of Daniel, we know the stories. A lot of you guys know the stories. We know about Daniel and the lion's den. We know about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace. We know those stories, but we don't always know the backstory. And as you look at Daniel chapter 1, it's really interesting when we see what happens with these group of guys. And there are a ton of other guys that are with them. But they are taken out of their comfort zone, out of their homes, out of what they are used to, their families, their culture, and they are pulled out of that and thrown into a whole new culture. Where the Babylonians, an empire who has overtaken Israel, are taking these people that they are in control of now and forcing them to be in their culture, and they're wanting to train them and feed them and do all these things, which can seem very positive, but it's done to help to bring them into what their culture is like. And what I understand here, what I think what's been kind of on my heart, is that we look at how we are today, how our world is today, where we are at a point where, yes, we are at our homes, we have our families, and we have kind of that close unit that we have together, but we don't have our friends in the same way we're used to. We don't have our schools, we don't have our sports and all that other stuff that we're used to. We're kind of taken, in a way, forced out of our comfort zone, our routine, our way of doing our lives, into something completely different out of no decision of our own. And it's kind of like how it is for Daniel and his buddies here. But what I find is that in that moment, Daniel and his friends have an opportunity where they can do one of two things. They can either go with the flow and let the new culture, this Babylonian culture, dictate to them how they're to act, how they're to live, who they're to trust. Or, and this is what we see for Daniel and for Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego, this is what we see. We see them actually instead putting their faith and trust in God and hanging on to that. Even in a new situation that they're not used to, they still continue to put their faith and their trust in God, trusting that He will lead and He will protect in any situation that they're in. And so I look at that and I think about where we are today, where we are taken out of our comfort zone. And yes, we're still kind of have this close unit, this close community that we have. We're not quite to the extent that these guys are, but we're taken out of our comfort zone into something totally different. A world that we're not sure what it's going to look like yet. And we have an option. Do we just go with the flow, go with the fear, go with the anxiety, and do all of that, and just kind of see, you know what, whatever's going to happen to me after this is what's going to happen. Whatever the world's going to be like, this is what the world's going to be like. Or can we actually say, you know what, I'm going to continue to put my faith and my trust in our God who loves us. I'm going to put my faith and my trust in Jesus because He cares for me in any situation, no matter where I am, no matter where I go. He will lead, He will guide, and He protect. So my question for you is, where are you going to put your faith? Where are you going to put your trust? Are you going to let the world and culture dictate how that's going to be for you? Or can you actually put your faith and your trust in God, who cares so, so deeply for you? God bless you this Tuesday. Have an awesome week, and we'll see you next Tuesday.